Okay. Sorry for the interruption. I will now continue. Okay, so what is really reservation, mga boss? So this is an agreement between a property seller, so that's the developer, and a buyer. So this is formalized through a written document and typically accompanied by a fee known as the reservation fee. So this fee is paid to secure the chosen unit under the buyer's name for a specified period of time. Okay, so I'm talking about the reservation when it comes to projects, mga boss. So, hindi natin matatawag ang isang process na reservation if the buyer is not able to pay the reservation fee yet. So dapat may reservation fee for the reservation to be official or for it to be called reservation. Okay. Okay, let me just mute someone. Okay. So we have here the steps in reserving a unit. Of course, for step 1, we have to do the checking of unit availability. So begin by confirming with the developer whether your client selected unit is still open for reservation. So say for example, mga boss, if your client has already decided na, uy, ma'am, I want to reserve this unit 412 in Tower 3. So of course, we cannot proceed with the reservation if we do not do step 1, which is very vital. And again, that's to check with the developer staff, specifically yung sa sales team, if available pa ang unit. Okay? So you simply just contact anyone from the sales team to confirm if okay pa ang unit, part pa siya sa inventory ng project na yan. Okay. So for step 2, okay, we have to supply the initial requirements. Simplify the process of reservation by submitting all essential initial reservation prerequisites. So later on, I will discuss more what these requirements are. Okay, so we have here the list for the initial reservation requirements. So we have here 2 valid IDs with 3 specimen signatures. If the buyer is, of course, married, we have to submit both spouses 2 valid IDs. And then if the client is single, we have to submit birth certificate. But if he is married, we can do the marriage certificate. Then we have to let the buyer complete the buyer's information sheet, and then the proof of TIN, proof of income, and then the signed special power of attorney. So not all developers, mga boss, have this special power of attorney. So the most known developer who has this specific document is Cebulan Masters Incorporated. And later on, you will know more about these forms and these documents. And then, within 24 hours, usually, kasi ibang developers, they will allow you to submit these documents within 48 hours, something like that, especially if the reason is valid. So within 24 hours to 48 hours, we have to submit the signed reservation agreement, the signed computation sheet or term sheet, and then the signed amortization schedule. Again, you will be familiarized with these documents later in this training. Okay, so now we go to step 3. So once we are done submitting those requirements, and the developer staff is able to validate those requirements, he or she will now give you an approval. So that's an approval for the client to be able to pay the reservation fee. Okay, so I have this technique, mga boss. So sa 3 years ko sa industry na to, so familiar na ako na may mga developers na okay lang sa kanila na mag-pay na ng reservation fee before submitting all the initial requirements. Okay? But for other developers, they are very strict about this one. Some developers, they require to check the proof of income kasi gusto nilang malaman if yung buyer is really okay to make a loan from the bank or the pag-ibig. Okay, so just a technique, mga boss, if young developer na yan is okay naman na mag-pay na yung client sa reservation fee while what they call that, while submitting the initial requirements, while on the process of submitting the initial requirements, okay naman, mga boss, na ipapay nyo na yung client nyo, especially if you know naman na all their documents are okay, and also if you know na yung monthly income nila is pasok naman sa required monthly income ng certain project na yan. Kasi sa 3 years ko dito sa industry, I have realized na as long as hindi pa nagbibigay ng reservation fee yung client natin, possible pa talaga yung mag-back out. I've tried a lot of times na nagsabi na sa akin ang client na, okay, I will reserve now, and then we already tried to gather all these requirements, and then last minute nagsabi na, ay, hindi na lang pala ako matutuloy kasi na-realize ng husband ko na hindi pa namin kaya. Yung mga ganun na reason ba. So it's good na if okay naman sa developer na mag-pay na ng reservation fee, you go for it, mga boss. Okay, and then so what is reservation fee? We have to take note, mga boss, that it is deductible from the total contract price or the selling price of the property. It means to say, when the client tells you, ano bang reservation fee? Is it like a different fee? You can simply say na it's already part naman po ng total price po ng property. And then, always tell your clients before they make the reservation fee na it is non-refundable, refundable, and non-transferable. So that is very vital, mga boss, kasi some clients, sabi ko nga, may ibang clients na maski nakapag-pay na ng reservation fee, may plano pang mag-back out, yung ganon ba? So, safe na tayo kasi yung reservation fee, non-refundable siya at non-transferable. Kaya, dapat talaga nating i-notify yung client before they make the payment. Okay? And then, always remember that in the event that the client cancels the reservation, the developer has the right to forfeit the reservation fee. So this just explains the fact that the reservation fee is non-refundable. Okay. So the reservation fee, it can be paid through, it depends on the developer, mga boss, but usually it can be paid through cash, through post-dated check, and then through online fund transfer. So for the last two ways, you can simply ask the sales team kung ano yung bank details ng developer so that you can help the client in filling up the post-dated check, or you can help the client in once they are doing the fund transfer. Okay, and for the last step in the reservation process, we have, or the client has to complete the lacking requirements. So ensure that all lacking requirements are submitted within 30 days. That is to validate the sale. So some developers, they require the requirements to be submitted within 20 days from the time of the reservation. So dapat alam nyo talaga or tinatanong nyo yan sa mga sales staff kung kailan required i-submit yung mga certain requirements. Okay? This is very essential, mga boss, because once you fail to submit those documents sa deadline, sometimes yung incentives nyo will be forfeited. So sayang naman, di ba? Okay, so it really helps if you are that kind of agent who asks questions. Okay. So what are these reservation requirements? We have, those to follow reservation requirements. So these are the proof of billing, post-dated checks for the whole duration of the equity, and then the signed contract to sell. Okay, and later on, again, you will know more about these requirements. Be familiar with the reservation requirements. Okay. So for the first requirement, this is the 2 valid IDs with 3 specimen signatures. This is for each ID. So as you can see here, you can actually help, or you can actually instruct your client to have like a bond paper and then place her ID on top of the bond paper, like the 2 front portions of the 2 IDs, and then another photo for the back portions of the 2 IDs. And then you just instruct her to place her signature at the side. It should be 3 specimen signatures. So we have here the list of valid IDs. We have the UMID, driver's license, PRC ID, passport, senior citizen ID, SSS ID, COMELEC or voter's ID, the Phil ID, or NBI clearance. So just confirm with the sales team if ano yung mga valid IDs that they accept. Because sometimes the developers do not accept the NBI clearance. So you just ask them. And also, some developers, they accept 1 primary valid ID plus 2 secondary valid IDs. So what are the secondary valid IDs like? I think the teen ID is a secondary valid ID, the PhilHealth, if I'm not mistaken. So yun mga boss. Okay? And then the next document, we have the birth certificate if single, marriage certificate if married. Okay, so be sure mga boss na na-submit yung lahat ng pages ng certificate. So in this photo, you can see here the one at the center is the page 1, and the one at the right side is the second page. Okay? And I think it is very common na yung mga birth certificate or marriage certificate, they are a bit blurred. So just be sure that your client scans them para klaro talaga. We have a scanner application sa mga mobile phones natin. You can just simply instruct your clients about it. And then we have here the buyer's information sheet. Okay. For the buyer's information sheet, mga boss, this is from Cebu Land Masters Incorporated. Of course, for every developer, iba-iba talaga yung mga forms nila, but I will just tell you, I think it's a little similar lang naman. Okay. So, just be sure mga boss that when you and your client try to fill up the buyer's information sheet, dapat kompleto talaga. So as you can see here, meron talagang name of project, yung unit number, ano yung tower, kailan magsa-start yung equity amount, ganon. And also what kind of financing is chosen, ganon. Tapos yung sa seller's data, for those who are not yet PRC accredited and DHSUD registered, allow your unit managers to have this part here completed by them. Okay, but it's okay naman mga boss because even if naka-register tong sale na to sa unit manager ninyo, sa Leuterio website naman natin, mare-register yan sa pangalan nyo po or sa account nyo. So okay lang talaga yan. Hindi yan mapupunta sa unit manager ninyo. And be sure mga boss na if not applicable naman yung parang hinihingi na data like this one, yung suffix, you always put NA. So don't leave any boxes empty. So kung wala kang mailalagay or hindi siya applicable, you just put NA, okay? And for Cebu Land Masters Buyer's Information Sheet here, dapat i-check mo tong part na to. Yung sa page 3, dapat yes ito. Kasi, for example, you are trying to reserve a hotcake project, tapos parang nakalinya ka. Like you are the 212 na client or yung client mo yung 212. So, if ever may lacking sa buyer's information sheet, ano kasi yan mga boss, parang hindi siya i-entertain. So that's why you have to be very, parang, kumbaga, sigurista kayo para sure na makikater yung reservation nyo. Okay? And then for the next one here, we have the proof of TIN. Ang proof of TIN, usually, ang hinihingi ng mga developers ay yung TIN verification slip. So we can see here, ayan lang naman yan mga boss. It looks like this, sorry. Yan lang. So, you can actually assist your clients in getting the TIN verification slip. You can go to BIR and maybe have like an authorization letter. So some BIR branches, they allow the authorization letter, but some, they are very strict, so they require the SPA. So alam ko lang yung sa Talisay City, Cebu, okay naman yung BIR branch na yon. They just require you to have an authorization letter, yung ID ng ipag-verify. So wala ka namang kailangang i-fill up dito kasi sila nang maglalagay, but it's okay naman din kung kamo nang mag-fill up ng TIN, ng name, date of birth, at saka yung address para mas madali na lang ng BIR staff to just put the RDO code, ito part dito, at saka mag-put ng stamp and then yung signature. So once may stamp na yung slip na to at may signature na rin, it means to say, okay na yan. Valid na yan na TIN verification slip. And then, some developers, okay lang naman sa kanila yung TIN ID. So again, you can have the front and back portions of the ID on the sheet of bond paper. And then you can also provide for your client the BIR income tax return. So usually, para to sa mga freelancer or sa mga may business. Okay. And then, the next is the proof of income. So usually, the developers require the latest 3 months pay slips, the certificate of employment with compensation, and the latest income tax return. Okay, so for those who are employed, usually ito lang namang first two ang ang requirement. Yung 3 months pay slips at saka yung COE. Be sure mga boss na yung COE may compensation talaga. So it means to say it is in the COE kung magkano yung natatanggap monthly nung client mo. It's very important mga boss. And then for the next document, the special power of attorney. So again, as I've mentioned a while ago, usually yung Sibulan Masters Incorporated ang nagre-require nito. A lot of developers do not have this document. So again, you have to supply all the necessary or all the needed information, and if you do not know the answer kasi hindi naman applicable, again, you can just simply write NA. Pero wala naman sigurong hindi applicable dito kasi detalye to kung ano yung specific unit na kukunin, kailan i-reserve, tsaka magkano ang total contract price. And don't forget to have the buyers affix their signature above their names here. And again, for those who are not registered sa DHSUD or accredited sa PRC, let your unit manager sign this document. Okay. That's for special power of attorney. Unlike sa mga usual na SPA mga boss, this doesn't have to be notarized. You can just simply submit this document with the electronic signatures of your clients and your unit manager. And then we have here, okay, so yun na yung mga initial reservation requirements. And dito, we have the requirements that needs to be submitted within 24 hours. Some developers, they want this done like within an hour or within 30 minutes. They want it to be done like within the day. The other developers, okay lang naman sa kanila na pwede na bukas as long as it is within 24 hours. Okay, so be sure when your client signs the reservation agreement, they have to have their signatures on each page. And if married yung client ninyo, dapat kasali yung signature ng spouse nila. So as you can see here for the page 1, may signature dito sa buyer and then signature ng spouse. And then this is not necessarily the second page, but if you can see a page wherein there are the names of the buyer and the spouse, so you simply let them have their signatures placed on or above their names. Okay? Yun mga boss. Okay. And then the next is a signed term sheet or computation sheet. So I have here 2 different term sheets from different developers. Dito sa Sibulan Masters na term sheet or computation sheet, makikita nyo na parang summary lang siya. Like nilagay lang yung magkano yung monthly at ano siya, kailan siya i-start babayaran at kailan siya huling babayaran. Whereas sa sa computation sheet ng Antara, makikita nyo na nakalagay talaga dito yung schedule every month and then the amount that has to be paid every month. Okay, and again, you have to make sure na may signature talaga above the names of your client and his spouse if married. Okay, yan. So that's for the signed term or computation sheet. And then we have the signed amortization schedule. So since CLI, yung sa term sheet niya, hindi naman siya like itemized, kaya meron silang amortization schedule. So this looks like the term sheet or computation sheet of the other developers, like that of Nexus or yung sa Antara. So makikita natin dito sa amortization schedule kung kailan ni-reserve and then magkano ang babayaran every month. Okay. Yan. And again, you have to make sure na both spouses ay nakapirma dito, or if single, siya lang kibali. Okay. Okay, so that's for the signed amortization schedule. Again, other developers only have the term or computation sheet, while CLI has both the term or computation sheet and the amortization schedule. Okay. So yan yung requirement that has to be complied within 24 hours. And now we go to the requirements na pwede nang to follow or within 30 days. Okay. So we have here the proof of billing. Basically, this is for address verification. So developers use proof of billing to verify the client's current residential address. This is important to ensure they can reach the clients and to establish their place of residence. So be sure, mga boss, that once your client submits their proof of billing, dapat tama yung nakalagay na address. Say, for example, ito, MS Bascon Street, Dumlog, Talisay City. Yan, okay? Kasi some proof of billing, like for example, for this one, maybe Talisay City lang to, or Dumlog, Talisay City lang. So, you just tell your client if they have another proof of billing. Mas maganda kung yung kompleto talaga. Okay. And then, post-dated checks. So please ask the developer for an endorsement certificate. Endorsement certificate to facilitate the opening of a checking account for your client. So most of our clients, sorry mga boss, meron kasing nag-a-unmute. Okay, so most of your clients, they do not have the checking account. Of course, hindi naman kasi usual yung mag-open tayo ng checking account. So that's why, para madali na lang for our clients to open a checking account, we have to get an endorsement certificate from the developer. But this one here, I realize mga boss, kasi itong certain na developer na to, hindi sila nagbibigay ng certificate of endorsement. So what I did here is that I made a certificate of endorsement. So I just place here na yung client ko bumili talaga ng unit na ito, and then pinirmahan ko lang. So sinabi ko dito sa certificate of endorsement na this certificate has been issued for opening an East-West checking account only. So specify ko dito na this is just for the opening of the account. So wala na tong ibang purpose ang endorsement na ito. And so far, yung sa East-West sa Cebu Capital Branch, inaccept naman nila itong certificate of endorsement. Okay? And then, once the client has already opened a checking account, so bibigyan sila agad ng isang checkbook. Usually, it has, I think, 50 checks. Okay, so ito yung tamang pag-fill up ng cheque, mga boss. So, early this year, hindi natin natanggap yung mga cheque na alphanumeric yung sa date na portion. When we say alphanumeric, it means to say na yung month is spelled out. Like, for example, September 4, 2023. So, ang ina-accept na ngayon is dapat yung sa date, everything should be in numeric form. So like this. So the month is 09, day is 04, and the year is 2023. And then you put here the amount in numeric form. Say, for example, if it's only 5,000 sirado, you can just simply put 5,000 period tapos dalawang zero. So it's very vital to put yung dalawang zero para hindi na siya malagyan ng ibang numbers. And then pay to the order of, magtanong kayo sa bank account name ng developer. Huwag kayong mag-assume na ang ilalagay dito is developer's name because sometimes the developer has a different bank account name. So again, it's very good to ask from the developer kung ano talaga yung bank account name nila. And then for the amount in words, you simply have to write this, okay? And you can add the word only sa last portion. Actually, some write this in this way, like 5,000 pesos and 50, as in 50 na number, over 100. Tapos only na. So wala na yung word na centavos. Again, sometimes others write this in this way, 5,000 pesos and 50 in number, over or slash 100 in number, and then in words na naman, only. I hope you understand my explanation. And then this part here is the signature of the account owner. Okay? So that's for post-dated checks. Remember mga boss, hindi pwede yung erasure. Kahit nga parang like ma-bold yung ibang letters, like this one, if i-bold mo tong letter O, some developers do not accept that check. Dapat talaga yung perfect siya. It's okay if hindi masyadong maganda yung handwriting ng client natin. Okay lang yan as long as there are no erasures. Okay. And then for the last requirement, we have here the signed contract to sell. So this is a legal agreement between a seller, so that's the developer, and a buyer outlining the terms and conditions of a property transaction. In this type of contract, the seller agrees to sell the property to the buyer, subject to certain conditions, typically including the full payment of the purchase price and the transfer of the property title. So please make sure, mga boss, na you ask again the sales team from the developer kung saan nila gustong ipalagay yung pirma ng buyer at saka yung spouse. Because sometimes gusto nila dito sa may left side ng paper or sometimes they like it to be placed doon sa bottom part ng bond paper. And again, ensure that each page of the contract to sell is signed by both your client and his spouse. Okay, so that's it for our reservation process. It's very easy, mga boss. And please know na our unit managers are always here to assist you. Okay? So don't be afraid to do the reservation, okay? So before I try to entertain questions, may you slowly type your full names in the chat box, because after this training, I will be giving you certificates. Kasi maganda naman yung may certificate tayo every after training, kasi pwede natin siyang ma-post sa social media and our clients will have more trust in us. Okay? So, pwede naman na yung iba mag-a-ask ng questions, yung iba magta-type ng kanilang full name sa chat box. So, those who are not able to type their names on the chat box, of course, I will not be able to make your certificate. Okay, wala ba tayong mga questions, mga boss? Does it mean everyone understood, or does it mean walang nakikinig? Dalawa lang yan eh. Walang nakikinig or ano? Naka-understand lahat. So walang questions. Wait, let me check the chat box if baka may questions pala. Ay, wala namang questions. Wala akong nakikitang questions sa chat box. Meron. Ano tong tinatype ni Boss Clyde? Is this a question? Boss Clyde, married pero not legally separated. Yes, boss, you can turn on your microphone and let your question be heard by everyone.
Hello po,
Boss
ma'am.
Clyde. Hello, boss. Good morning.
Tanong
Yes.
ko lang po sa yung first mga slides niyo.
Apo.
Regarding sa marriage certificate. Married po siya, ma'am, pero separated kasi sila eh. Tapos, need pa ba ng marriage certificate? Or pwede na yung birth?
Okay.
Yun lang po.
Thank you very much, Boss Clyde. That is a very nice question. So actually, if married pa yung client at hindi pa legally separated, yung separated lang pero hindi pa na-finalized by law, it means to say needed talaga yung marriage certificate. Also, the spouse needs to affix his signature sa lahat ng documents na i-discuss ko po. So it means to say, mahirap po talaga if yung client natin hindi pa legally separated pero not in good terms sa ex-spouse nila. Ganon. So, a lot of our client, actually to be honest, meron kaming maraming clients na ganon, nanghihinayang talaga kami, but wala talaga kaming magagawa kasi hindi kasi talaga pwede na hindi i-include yung spouse sa reservation process. Okay. So, do you have any other questions? So I have here from Boss Jonaline. She likes to have the reservation requirements to be summarized. So actually, na-summarize ko siya sa first part, but I can show the slides again. Okay, you can actually take a photo, mga boss. Wait lang ha. Okay, take a photo for the initial reservation requirements. And then after 10 seconds, I will now move the slide to the next one. Okay. And then these are the requirements to be completed within 24 hours. Again, some developers, they require this to be done within the same day. I will again give you 10 seconds to take a screenshot. Okay. And then lastly, we have the reservation requirements that need to be submitted within 20 to 30 days, depending on the developer. Again, I will give you 10 seconds to take a screenshot. Okay. So do you not have any other questions, mga boss? Okay. So please know, mga boss, na these reservation requirements, of course, they vary from one developer to the other. But yung initial reservation requirements, actually some developers, they just require the 2 valid IDs at saka yung buyer's information sheet. Dalawa lang yung nire-require. So, yung nilagay ko dito, parang yung kompleto na usual na nire-require talaga ng mga developer. Later on, as you go through this career, you will know ano yung mga developers na okay during reservation. Like sa case ko, mga boss, gusto ko talaga yung Antara. Because during reservation, since yung sa Tower 3, yung equity is, or yung down payment period is until 5 years pa naman. So what they require now are yung 2 valid IDs lang at saka yung buyer's information sheet. Tapos yung proof of TIN at saka yung iba pa, pwede na siyang to follow. That's for the day of the reservation, mga boss, yung sa initial. Okay. So, do you have any other questions, mga boss? Wala na ba? Okay. I think we are all good now. So, let's take a photo. Can everyone turn on their video so I am able to take a photo of your beautiful faces? While everyone is turning on their video, can someone type in the chat box kung anong klase ng training ang gusto nilang i-attend? Baka meron kasi silang gustong i-master. Okay? So that the unit managers will be guided on what to prepare next as a training. Para namang walang tao. Wala naman akong nakikitang sumasagot sa chat box. Ano bang nangyayari sa mga tao? Okay, so may nagtanong kung ano bang skincare ko. Filter lang. Pero wala naman 'tong filter ngayon kasi ordinary camera. Okay, so smile for me mga boss. So I have here two sets of people. So smile lang kayo ha. As long as I do not say stop smiling, dyan lang kayo magsta-stop. Okay? Wait lang. Wait lang. Mahina ang kalaban. Okay. Okay, smile lang talaga. Smile lang talaga. I'm now going to do the second part. Ay, wala pala ako sa second part. Hindi na ako mag-smile. Okay, smile! Uy, grabe naman kayo. Wala naman kayong tanong sa akin. Parang wala namang challenge ang training na to. 3 days ko naman pinaghirapan tong slides ko, mga boss. Kasi I put a lot of colors. Di ba nakikita niyo ang daming colors? Okay, parang okay na tong mukha ko sa picture. Okay, so wala na talagang mga boss, wala na kayong suggestion for the next training? Wala na, okay. Ang galing nyo naman. Wala kayong mga suggestions, wala kayong okay, sige, wala kayong suggestions, okay. Okay, thank you mga boss. Have a great weekend. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
boss.
boss.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank you,
you.
boss.
Salamat,
Thank you,
boss.
boss.
Another training naman.
Thank you, boss. Blooming ka.
Eh, sa filter lang, boss. Good night, mga boss.
Good night din, boss. God bless.
God bless, boss. Okay, bye-bye na mga boss. Ay, hindi pa ako pwedeng mag-end kasi